Hey guys, I'm gonna spoil the prestige at some point in this podcast. Look down for timestamps in our show notes. Hey everybody, welcome back to Podcasts and Such, where we are watching My Hero Academia Season 5. I'm Jay.
And I'm Luke.
And today we'll be discussing Season 5, Episodes 20 and 21, My Villain Academia and Revival Party.
I was really disappointed that they didn't change the theme song.
Yeah, I don't know if they wanted to,
I want a whole new OST.
So you want a whole new theme song for My Villain Act. Well, and that's the thing. I kind of wish that, even though I do believe that the chapters in the manga did have like the logo for each chapter after Shiraki smashes it, but like they didn't make the volume My Villain Academia themed.
That'd be great, though, because it seems like it goes on for a little while here. We're not even done.
The rest of the season is My Villain Academia, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah.
They could have done that then. See, they could have gotten some mileage out of a My Villain Academia theme song. Come on, I mean,
right.
If it was one episode.
What was it? What was that? We started at that 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a substantial piece of the
chunk. That is a chunk. Yeah. But I mean, commissioning, well, and also like
understand a lot of the theme songs for arcs. Yay big.
Have they?
Maybe a little longer. Yeah, isn't there like usually 2 theme songs per season?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, it would, I guess, not.
So each half, like 20, each those 12 to 13 episodes.
Right. Okay. So I mean, it's a little short. You know, it's half of what a normal theme song would serve, but I feel like it'd be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, or at least I don't know. Like,
listen, My Hero Academia is printing money. Okay.
True, they do make the big bucks.
Yeah,
they're having a crossover sponsorship or something with the NBA.
Hmm. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
My Hero Academia pays for like Mob Psycho 100 to exist.
Essentially, is kind of what everybody.
So I think they can afford one more OST. You know.
Yeah, I mean, well, but like, so like the budget for a theme song, I think, is different than the budget for like even an average episode. It's where all the good Sakuga substantial animation goes.
Yeah, I get it.
You know,
I mean,
and then that's why
I'm not trying to say it's not a huge deal. You know, I'm not trying to say that like, whip up another theme song. You know, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying I think it would be substantially cool enough to like, you know, if with a successful franchise, the goal is always to keep, you know, the bar going up, if not staying, you know, solid. You don't want it to go down, obviously. But, you know, if the goal is to keep people going like, wow, My Hero Academia is a really quality anime that goes the extra mile, and that's why we all love it. I think that would have strengthened that branding.
Yeah, I definitely would have heard about it on Twitter.
People would have lost their minds.
It would have been a big thing because people love the villains of My Hero Academia. It's like a lot of people's favorites.
They have cool villains,
They do. They have a great rogues gallery. It's very good.
We did get into some weird spots with this one, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It is a little weird.
We went some weird places. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about them when we get there. So we open up. Yeah.
First episode, My Villain Academia. We're sort of going into the Shigaraki. Shigaraki stuff. I felt like this episode really hit me with how much I haven't watched the first 4 seasons in many years.
Well, I feel like I don't know. Like what do you mean?
I just felt kind of lost. I was like, who are these people? What are we talking about? Like, I get the central premise made sense, and so I was able to keep up with what was going on in the episode. They're trying to get this mega dude to submit to Shigaraki because he needs something from somebody. That was a little fuzzy for me.
Okay. So basically, with Shigaraki's goal of destroying everything, essentially, that's all he wants to do is destroy things.
Always a great goal.
He needs more power for that, right? And and now that there's like the Meta Liberation Army and stuff, and the Yakuza, and all these things kind of crawling out of the woodwork. Not the Yakuza anymore because of the whole overhaul stuff, but all these other forces are crawling out of the woodwork and are opposing the League of Villains. So they're like, we need to step up our game here. Yeah. That's basically it.
But wait, someone was gonna give them something for doing this fight.
Oh, the doctor's gonna give him something.
Yeah.
Whatever he was doing to him, like at that very opening scene and the ending scene of last episode, like. Oh. Yeah.
Okay. So this is okay. So
this is all set.
Yeah, the torture thing. Ago. Yeah, the torture thing was happening in the present. And then 2 months ago, this is the lead up to the torture. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, this is the lead up to that. This is set before Dabi even brought the high-end Nomu to fight Endeavor.
But then they reference that.
Well, yeah, they reference that. Well, okay, so it's set right before that, and then that does happen, and now we are, I think, past that.
Okay.
Presently in this flashback.
It's a little confusing.
A little bit, especially again, like I said, this is like a little bit out of order from how the manga did it, but yeah, so they're doing that. They're all trying to level up and all that jazz. We finally get some real confirmation that we've heard Shigaraki call that hand on his face father before, but now we are told that that is the remains of his entire family.
Okay, yeah. So the hands are the remains of his family. Okay.
Yeah.
I've picked that up. Yeah.
And I think we knew that All For One had like taken in Shigaraki, but we didn't know the exact circumstances of that.
Right. Okay.
So
things are piecing together.
Yeah. And I guess what else? The League of Villains that started around they showed up at the end of season 1, and then but the League of Villains as we know it with like Dabi and Toga and Twice and all that was in season 2 after Spain was like a thing, and he was like all big on the internet. His monologue went like viral or whatever, and they all went, let's all be villains.
I was having a hard time remembering exactly like some of the villains like motivations, like Mr. Compress. I couldn't remember what the heck his deal was.
I don't remember if he's gotten any sort of like deep motivations that I remember.
Yeah. Okay, well.
He's just there to chill. I don't know. He's a villain. He wants to be a villain.
Yeah, all that's to say, I mean, the episode was like interesting. Like it seemed we're going somewhere.
Yeah.
That could be cool. But yeah, some of the interpersonal like backstory drop was sort of, I was like, okay, I think I understand.
Right. Like Like, do you remember exactly what happened with like Twice or whatever? Or
well, they brought that up in the next episode, I think.
They did, yeah.
And so I remember that now. I didn't realize that wasn't a reveal.
Yeah. They had kind of already told us that in season 4, I believe. We had a little I think the opening of an episode was like about that, but they're just kind of reiterating on it and expanding, you know.
I like that. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
It reminded me of, well, you haven't seen it, so I won't say what that reminded me of.
Oh, okay.
But it was good.
Okay, cool. It's like I kind of want to know, but I'm also like, oh wait, I don't want to be spoiled. Like,
yeah.
Yep. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What all happened this first one? It was mostly just setting up all that.
Yeah, because it's a lot of setup, not a lot of.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is all what the first bit is about. Yeah, I didn't write a ton of notes for this one. I was just like,
yeah,
because I watched it like right after we got off the call last week, actually, and then I watched it again yesterday.
Okay.
Just because I was in a real mood last week, where I was just like, I want to just watch more My Hero Academia, which I might do that tonight. Who knows? But
okay.
So yeah, so I've seen the episodes twice, but I don't know what all I want to talk about with it.
Yeah, there's not. There didn't feel like a ton besides like well, I guess we got this organization of metahumans. Here's a thing that I think maybe to talk about as far as substance, as far as like or not substance, structure.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed the Deku monologue before the first episode rather than the second episode, where Deku sort of goes over everything that happens with the metahumans, the metahumans liberation army.
Yeah.
Sums up that whole situation. But I guess I don't know. I guess was the intent to make the phone call more to the viewer.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. That could have like set it up, and then you go, "Oh, that's the thing that he was talking about."
Yeah. Instead, the whole time I'm like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And wait, what do I know about the Meta Liberation Army again? Little to nothing.
Yeah, we only know that Hawks has been like kind of in contact with them. Yeah, doing the whole getting the dirt on them for the commission and all that, and and they've been keeping their close tabs on Hawks himself.
Yeah.
In that, and Hawks had that whole that was the book he was handing out to like Endeavor and stuff.
I remember the book.
Yeah. So the book and stuff, and that there's 100,000 people in the Meta Liberation Army all over Japan or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about all we knew about them beforehand.
Okay.
And that they're meta and they want to liberate, and they're an army.
Yeah. I can't remember how much I got from their whole conversation. It just Meta Liberation Army wants to destroy the League of Villains.
Yeah.
That's what I pulled from that.
Right. Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Kooky spooks.
Sure. Sure, why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and I think Shigaraki's plan here is interesting of getting Gigantomachia to follow him.
Gigantomachia. Okay, I keep wanting to call him like Megalodon or something.
Oh, okay. Well, and also, so we've seen Gigantomachia before, actually.
That's what I thought. Was he at the freaking summer camp thing?
No. So we've seen him because that's what Gran Torino has been like doing. He's been like searching for Gigantomachia, I think.
Okay.
And also, he was part of Kirishima's flashback, actually.
Okay. Interesting.
If you remember that, let me see if I can dig up a screenshot of that.
Aren't we all searching for Gigantomachia on some level?
Yeah, you know, it really makes you think, doesn't it? really, really makes you think. Yeah, because I'm like trying to remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly why Gran Torino was looking for him. Gigantomachia. There we go. Yeah, maybe I should skim the wiki here to. Why is it taking me places instead of showing me the images I'd like to see?
Don't know.
Man, this is broken. Dang it. Okay. I'm gonna take a very small screenshot. Hopefully this will do something. If you remember in Kirishima's flashback, he was like talking about how there was like a villain and he didn't do anything about it, but like Ashido did. She was like, you know, she gave him the wrong directions. She told him to go towards the police station instead of wherever he was asking to go.
And then all the police died.
Yeah, that's what Ashido did. She just killed a whole bunch of police.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Gigantomachia.
That's a tall boy.
It's a tall drink of water.
It just sounds like a Gigantosaurus or whatever from Jurassic World.
I don't think it was called Gigantosaurus. It's called something else.
No, it wasn't in that one, but there's more, Jay. There's more.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that there were 3 Jurassic World movies.
They only get stupider, okay?
Oh, okay. they really have one called Gigantosaurus.
It was called like or Gigasaur or something.
Okay, Giga works a little better. I'll say that.
Villain dinosaur in Jurassic World Dominion is called. It was the one where like there was an interview with what's his face. What's that guy's name? The Colin Trevorrow.
Oh, Colin Trevorrow, yeah.
Where he was talking about the new like villain dinosaur or whatever, and he was comparing it to the Joker. And people made memes of like a dinosaur with Joker face paint.
Colin, you can't just say things like that and not expect to get memed all over.
It's really. Let's see. World. Wait, is it really called Giganotosaurus?
Giganotosaurus. Okay. That's a little clunky.
That's the way it's spelled anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Giga, not Osaurus. It's a real dinosaur, I think.
Really? Okay. Well, if it is a real dinosaur, then comment retracted.
In the movie, they call it the Giga.
It's kind of like zombies that they can never just call them zombies. They're walkers.
The one
or whatever.
yeah. Look at this headline.
Just is like the Joker. In what way? Does this dinosaur just want to watch the world burn? That's not how animals work.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, man.
That's not what animals are like.
It's weird, man.
They don't crave chaos. They don't crave chaos.
They went off the rails, man. But anyway, yeah, that's what I was always thinking about when we're talking about Gigantamaxer, man.
Gigantomachia.
Yeah. Also stupid.
It works. It works.
Does it?
I don't know. It works for me.
I'm just gonna call him the Giga.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'll watch movies or read books or whatever where everybody all of a sudden is really into like acronyms and crap, but then like everyone at my workplace uses acronyms for everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, that it really is how people talk.
Yeah,
okay.
People just talk in acronyms all the time.
Yeah, it is like sometimes Crazy. I'm like, I need somebody to say all those words out at least once, just for me. I need to know. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. So Giant Man.
Yeah. So he's like, you better get good, Shigaraki.
Yeah.
Or else I'm not gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
And so he fights for 48 hours and has a 3-hour cooldown.
Yeah. But yeah, so the plan to have him lure him over to the meta resistance people.
Yeah, Deka City. They've taken over an entire city, which is the city that we've already heard about the incident.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Incident at Deka City. Gotcha.
Yeah, this is the incident.
All tying together. If only I had paid attention.
Yes. Man, it's not like we make a podcast about this or anything, where we go over these things.
Yeah.
But it's also been months in between us recording. Yeah. So, there's that too.
True.
If you don't feel like watching it, well, I would say use the wiki, but then there's a part of me that's like, sometimes they'll call forward to things in their trivia, and I'm like, don't do that, that's spoilers. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe read the wiki, but only like episode summaries rather than actually looking at like character pages.
All good. We're fine.
Okay.
we'll keep plowing through like this.
Where's a recap episode when you need one? We don't got those. Nope. At least only the first of the season usually. But then again, that's usually just telling us the characters' quirks.
So true.
So I'm wondering. Well, I won't say, but
okay.
Yeah, no, I can't say, but yeah. I think that's all there is to say about My Villain Academia for the most part. Okay. And I guess we can move on to there's their underground arms dealer. Geeton? Was that his name? Geeton? Yeah. Cutting off all his fingers, spreading them all.
Yeah, that was a person style. Where I was just like, who are you and why do I care?
I think he's only been in like 2 or 3 scenes, but like all these guys are like, well,
we have to save Geeton.
So that was nice. It's mostly just twice.
He's integral to our team.
Twice is like the only guy who's like really going at the bat for him.
Yeah.
Him and like Toga, but mostly twice.
Yeah. It's weird.
But yeah. The next episode, Revival Party, where they show up to go go in there, and we get a little bit of Toga backstory.
A little bit? The whole episode was about Toga, basically.
Yeah, but I feel like I know. I'm just saying that I know there's like more.
Oh, there's more backstory? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that this was insane.
Yeah.
I always find it like really weird when shows, specifically it seems to happen with superhero stuff. In particular, or I guess maybe they're cues from X-Men, right? Where it's just like you're sort of trying to set up like this group as having a difference that makes them in some way repressed or oppressed or whatever you want to call it. Repressed is more so what the angle they're going for here.
Yeah.
And it's always so funny to me. I don't know if this is like accidental or whatever, if they don't realize this, but it's like it reads very like, "Aw, why won't that toga drink those people's blood?"
Well, I mean, here's the thing about this.
Okay.
That I think is interesting because they do compare her to Twice, right? In that, a story of a quirk, using your quirk gone wrong.
Right, sure.
And I think you could argue, great power, great responsibility, and all that jazz.
Sure,
if you have a thing like a blood quirk, you have to do it responsibly. We do know 3 characters who have blood quirks. Toga, Stain, and Vlad King.
Uh-huh.
That's the Vlad King is the homeroom teacher of Class B.
Oh.
Yeah, he also has a blood quirk. And now his isn't, I don't think his is drinking blood. I think relation.
Okay.
But
well,
it just kind of goes.
What is? How do they good guy frame that?
How do they good guy frame Vlad King or what?
Yeah, like the ability to manipulate people's blood.
I don't know. I guess this depends on who you do it to.
Okay, so it's like the ethical question just becomes like, is the person whose blood I'm manipulating doing a bad?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think.
Am I stopping them from doing a bad with my blood manipulation?
Exactly. Well, and here's the thing. So I don't know if you I forget if they've described this specifically, but like it's not really legal to use quirks like at all unless you are a hero.
Right.
Like the only people allowed to use quirks are people with licenses, which is what a lot of vigilantes is about. That even if you have a quirk that's like really non-intrusive or threatening, you're still like not really allowed to use it. And depending on the degree of like harm that your quirk causes, like they didn't like throw the main character of vigilantes in jail or anything for using his quirk, which is like it's kind of like Slide and Go's quirk, where he can move around at like about the speed of a bicycle. I mean, he's just kind of given a slap on the wrist, like, "Hey, stop that! Don't do that."
Yeah.
But like, if you're Toga and you're drinking somebody's blood, yeah, you might get like arrested for that, or like be on the run for the last like 5 years of your life. So I think that it's. I don't know who out there would be willing to let her drink their blood or whatever in a consensual manner, but I think it's more about the ostracization of it. Like, she can't help that that's her quirk, and she was drinking like a bird's blood or something, and the bird was already dead.
Sure, yeah. I guess like if it doesn't matter the source of the blood, there are ways around it if you're not a vegan.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting to talk about it, but I think it's just because there was so much ostracization there.
Sure.
Just from the get-go.
Yeah.
No questions asked. She wasn't hurting anybody yet.
Right.
But that kind of drove her further and further. I don't know. That's how I see it, at least. And again, we'll get more on this later.
Yeah,
but,
I'm curious about it because sometimes these things can read like, why don't we let this psychotic person be psychotic?
Right. Well, and again, it's the whole great power, great responsibility. If you have a quirk like this, you do have to be highly responsible with it.
Yeah,
because it's people's blood. you know?
Sure, right. Well, I guess for me, there's just questions about if there is like positive or ethical. It's like it's almost like they designed a purely bad guy power, right?
Right, exactly.
That involves some sort of breach in human like autonomy or whatever.
Right, and you could argue that too in a way.
But that's why it was really funny to see, like, I couldn't tell if the episode was making fun of this framing or if this was the framing we were supposed to be resonating with or what. But it was
think because it's that reporter curious,
yeah,
because it's her kind of shaping and framing this, maybe it's a little bit like, I don't know, this seems a little not quite right, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
like she's the one wanting to frame it this way for the Meta Liberation Army.
Yeah,
and she also implied that this only works if Toga dies. And this is her deathbed confessional.
She's gotta be like dead. A martyr or whatever.
Yeah, she's gotta be a martyr. She's gotta be dead because, like, what if she goes and does something weird? And we can't write a story about her being tragic. She's gotta be dead to be tragic, you know?
Sure. But even like, it's hard to know because Japan's such a different culture than America.
Right.
Like it would be very difficult for an American show to like make a sort of art like this and not get into certain implications. But I don't know what the state of Japan is. You know, I don't know what this guy's goal with these groups and this idea is, you know, that there's these metahumans and like they're being regulated by the government to some extent, and what does that mean? And yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes and like what if the show's trying to sing, and if it does, what does it say? I don't know.
Right. Well, you know, again,
but in this instance, it felt very much like, why won't you let Walt eat that baby?
I mean, a little bit. Again, I think it's because it's curious framing this stuff that we kind of go,
right.
I don't know. But also, you know, had she received the right support, would she be running around killing people and drinking their blood? Who knows? You know, what if somebody had sat down with her and said, maybe let's not do that. Like, it's her. I'm trying to hold on. I don't want to mix up anything. Were her parents like saying stuff to her in this flashback?
Yeah. In this flashback.
Oh yeah, why can't you just be normal and all that jazz?
Why can't you just be normal? You're smiling and it looks so weird.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I honestly, in universe, I don't know what implications or whatever, but in this universe, it seems like Toga just kind of be freaky, you know? It sounds like Toga is.
And is it a crime to be just a little bit freaky?
It might be, if that includes drinking people's blood and obsessing over them, and I don't know, man.
She just wants to be like the people she loves.
It's a nature versus nurture sort of debate, sure. Yeah. I don't know. Is it possible that some people are just born with detrimental personalities? I don't know.
Yeah, you say. I mean, one is a good question. I think it's explored a bit here. You know.
Yeah. It's like I think. Yeah. I don't know if like, but because then that becomes a question too, right? You know, there's all these narratives about like there being an internal self and someone, and people can in these narratives at least learn and understand that self and rebel against society in a certain sense to in order to be that self.
Mm-hmm.
And in that situation, Toga is saying this is normal. This is what Toga is supposed to be like. This is authentic Toga, stripped of the repression and/or societal expectations.
Yeah.
Toga unleashed.
Toga unleashed.
Toga unleashed.
Yeah.
So like in that narrative, Toga is saying that this is me,
Right.
This is my nature.
Mm-hmm.
But the argument employed to sort of attest to why she might be that way is more of she's only this way because of being not accepted or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so it's nature versus nurture. It's complicated. It seems.
Yeah, I think so. One, yeah, and I think it is like kind of giving us a little something complicated to think about, because we do kind of go, oh, it would be nice if people could like use their quirks as they would or whatever.
Yeah.
And then one, you got the story of Twice, who has a very non-villainous quirk, but it drove him insane.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
many such doppelganger stories.
Yeah. I am so curious about like what the world piece of media you're thinking of.
Oh man, yeah, it made me think of a very specific movie that you haven't seen yet.
The Prestige, not the Prestige.
No, it's not the Prestige. No.
Spoilers for the Prestige, because that's the whole premise of that movie.
Oh crap! Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I'll put it on screen for a second there.
Yeah. What if they're just an audio listener? What about the millions of people who turn on the YouTube video and put their phone down and just like listen?
Yeah. Well, just gonna have to grip, I guess. I don't know. the tens of people who listen to us.
Yeah.
I always put
tens
like
is generous.
I mean, we have at least 100 views on a few of our videos.
Yeah, true.
So tens. Tens.
Sure.
Tens. There are dozens of us. But yeah, or maybe I could even cut that. That was a non sequitur. I didn't even need to say that.
That's true. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna actually, I'll put that as a stinger to the episode. Guys, I'm gonna no, well, that doesn't work either, because I don't know, whatever.
This is a moral dilemma that you're gonna have to figure out in post, okay?
Yeah, oh, hold on, let me quiet for a second. Hey guys, I'm gonna spoil the Prestige at some point in this podcast. Look down for timestamps in our show notes. There we go. Gonna put that at the beginning.
Our first prologue warnings.
No, not our
first.
I've actually done it once before.
Oh, wow.
Because we were talking about Night Eye dying, and we were talking about it in our Mob Psycho podcast. So I was like, oh dang, I gotta put that in there, because that's like character death, even though it was like 2 seasons ago. I gotta put that. So I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna spoil My Hero Academia. So I've done it before. But now we're safe. Now we're good. Now all of our which I stopped uploading to Spotify because Spotify doesn't work for me anymore. So we don't really have any audio only listeners anymore at this point.
Wow.
Until I finally fork over the money for Apple Podcasts.
You don't have like Anchor or something? Isn't there like somewhere called Anchor that'll post it on everything? Spotify. I thought they would post it on both.
Yeah, it does post on both, but yeah, Anchor won't upload my episodes. It's weird. The site's like broken for me.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, weird.
They're afraid of the truth.
They're afraid of the truth. You know what else is weird? This Deku lookalike.
Okay.
Segues.
Oh, what the hell is that?
That's from Toga's flashback.
Oh. Okay, so headcanon, she's in love with Deku because of some boy.
Yeah, because this guy that looks Deku. A lot like him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't explain why she's so infatuated with Ochako, but she just likes her for her.
She's infatuated because Deku is infatuated with Ochako.
That too.
Yeah. She wants to be like the people she loves. She loves Deku.
Yeah.
And Deku loves Ochako.
And she loves Ochako and Deku.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, and Toga gets a bit of a power up. She used to be only able to imitate, but now she can use their quirks too.
It seems like that happened with Shigaraki in this episode too, right?
Yes, he was able to spread his decay.
Are we starting the level up like arc of the show where it's just like, hey, we're 5 seasons in and to give Deku new quirks, and so to adjust for inflation, we got to give everybody some more quirks. Okay, we gotta amp it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean this.
And some of that's going to include just letting people do crap they couldn't do before.
It's My Villain Academia. Is their time to shine?
Right, I understand that for the villains, but see what I'm asking, and you don't have to answer, of course. But it is. I'm wondering if this is going to kick off like everybody's going to get a patch for power creep, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they can't just like keep giving Deku new stuff and let everybody else stay the same, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's sort of what I was thinking is what they're going to do.
Right.
I think they're now introducing the concept, which is something I don't like as much. Like when it becomes introduced, I guess it's hard to tell. I don't know. Like if at the beginning they were planning on having Deku have multiple quirks, maybe they could have started laying the groundwork for this earlier and like talk about examples of how people's quirks had developed over time, just sort of interspersed through the show.
I mean, we've already gotten that with like Ida's engines, him ripping out his mufflers.
Yeah, that was weird. Okay, that that didn't follow at all. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think
they never expressed whether or not there was a cap on that, right? Like, or did
I'm still sticking to my baby teeth theory, but that's just
so
me.
Freaking weird, man. That one was just strange. No, it's like, but no, I mean, other than that felt like a weird, strange thing that people don't normally do, right? That felt odd. I would like to be like, have them to have discussed maybe earlier on. It's like, yeah, when I was your age, I could only, hold 2 people with my brain power or something. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Some sort of in-universe sign that quirks develop.
Okay, right.
Because then that would make sense that like later, Toga is able to do more with her quirk than she initially was or something. I don't know. Maybe they'll explain this. Maybe they won't. I don't know.
I mean, we also got that with like Tokoyami and figuring out more about like Dark Shadow and all that jazz.
But see, no, that was always it. In any other instance where they've come up with like new moves and stuff, it's always felt like I'm using the same raw materials to do a new thing.
Oh, okay.
I figured out a new way to like do air blast with my finger flicks and stuff like that. It always felt like we're just developing the raw quirk is the same, but I'm doing something different with it because I've strategically figured out how to use it better. This is just like my quirk has gotten better. My quirk can do a new thing. My quirk can do more of the old thing. Like my quirk has, as they said in the episode, leveled up. Right. Which feels different to me than I've learned a new way to use my quirk.
Okay, yeah, now I get what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
Like I think about, for an example of the new way to use the same quirk thing. We had the episode where they came up with their special moves, and Shoto figured out how to like use the rapid temperature change of like ice and fire to make an explosion.
Right.
That's different than like my ice and or fire is stronger now or can do a different thing, or yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I understand what you mean now. It is a little bit out of nowhere, but I'm also like, let a rogue scout be strong. I don't care.
Sure. No, it's not even a problem with them being strong. It's just like, if we knew, because I feel like I said, I feel like this is a patch response to Deku getting stronger, because Deku's learning more quirks. Okay, right. He's going to have more quirks in his arsenal. And if they knew they were going to do that from the beginning, I feel like they could have started building into the show examples of how quirks develop and evolve over their usage. Okay, because apparently quirks can do that, because Toga just learned how to use the quirks of the people that she copies, which is just something she could not do previously.
Right. Okay, yeah, you're right. I cannot, off the top of my head, think of any other characters who have been able to level up in that way.
Yeah, and like now Shigaraki can decay people without touching them. I guess.
Well, his decay can spread.
Yeah, the people have to touch each other, but it's like, it can spread from beyond him.
Right.
That's like, this is way different than strategic differences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I get you.
This is what I'm here for. This is the comedy, or not comedy, commentary.
Yeah.
Commentary I get paid for, you know.
Oh, you're getting paid? I didn't know you were getting paid. We don't have nearly enough views on YouTube for that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my thoughts. That was my thoughts on like, oh, they're okay. So now we're working in this concept that quirks can just level up.
Yes.
And I feel like we're just going to start getting that. Start getting that across the board. We're going to start seeing patch notes.
Patch. Yeah, I mean, to follow the leader here with everybody using video game terminology this entire episode.
Yeah, exactly.
It was mostly Shigaraki, but like everybody else was like, oh, she leveled up.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. That was a really cool scene, though.
Yes.
Her like half and half phase, and
yeah.
My God, maybe it's just because we've been following around the heroes so much recently, and then we had that whole thing where they didn't kill the guy or whatever, but my God, they were just brazenly killing people in this episode.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like Davi said, I'm not very good at not killing people.
Yeah.
You know,
my Lord.
Well, and it kind of shows like the other side of Shaco's quirk. She could just be dropping people all the time.
Yeah, she could just murder people. Absolutely. That was crazy.
Oh yeah. That was certainly a way to use that quirk.
My Lord.
Yeah.
Does Toga have a hero or villain name or whatever? Is Toga it?
Toga's it.
Okay. Is that her last name or?
Yeah, her full name is Himiko Toga.
Yeah, okay.
She's the eldest daughter of the Toga family.
Okay. So she just uses her family's name?
Yeah, you know what? Why not? You know, you'd think she would want to use like an alias or something, but you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Come up with some vampire name.
Yeah, vampire names, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking around for like screenshot or something of like Shigaraki having his little almost flashbacks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't quite find it, but I'll have to scroll through the actual episode and do that later. But yeah, so we get like little glimpses into Shigaraki's childhood stuff in these couple episodes here.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious to see where that goes, but
yeah.
Shigaraki is another great example. Okay, it's like, why won't we let this man just decay people?
Okay, now people have made really good arguments for how his quirk could be heroic, and it's not about decaying people. If he was a rescue hero and could like just break up rubble, like somebody's under a giant piece of rubble.
Can he decay anything, or is it?
He can decay anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've seen him destroy other things other than people.
That's fair. Well, it's been a while. Okay.
Yeah.
He can decay anything. Him kill people. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Luke. He's a villain.
Yeah.
He's mostly gonna be doing that, you know? Like when he holds like a phone, he has to like hold it with like 2 fingers instead of all 5.
Is that a quirk though? Because it's like, or not a quirk like a quirk, but you know, like quirky.
Oh yeah, he literally, like you saw him in that flashback when he was hanging out with All For One. He was wearing gloves.
Yeah, but he was a kid who couldn't control his power at that point, right?
Yeah, but I think it's involuntary. I think if he touches anything, it like.
Okay, well, see, that's dangerous. We should probably put him in jail.
Whoa!
Solitary confinement, man.
I mean, obviously, he can hang out with at least like 5 other people who he doesn't kill all the time.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe safety procedures or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or a pair of gloves, like All For One gave him.
Yeah, but it's like, why do the gloves not disintegrate?
See, that's the thing. Like, I've seen other people, like, before that episode came out, whenever they would write about him wearing gloves, they would usually, like, exclude 1 digit or something like that, so it wasn't contact of all 5 fingers.
So he has to touch something with all 5 fingers?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how it works. Let me check out the...
That is clever, though. I wonder why they couldn't figure it out, the actual writers of My Hero Academia.
Yeah, you would hope so. Sometimes, you know, a lot of fan fiction is bad, but sometimes people get some interesting ideas.
Yeah, but it's just like, I hate when there's like magic gloves or something. Okay, like I get like magic. I get like the glasses for like Cyclops and X-Men that they came up with some like, yeah, they're made out of an incredibly strong, but even that feels kind of. The visor makes sense, you know. You actually make a high-tech Apple glasses kind of visor thing, you know, and okay, but it's like also his regular sunglasses can do that too.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
It's like, come on. It's like, oh, my hands destroy everything they touch, but if I wear these magic gloves, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the wiki is saying that gloves nullify the power, which is kind of like, okay, but why gloves? What are they made of? Yeah, I'm trying to see something about like where I think it's. Let's see.
Yeah, because that's a difficulty for me in some of these things where it's just like, you know, if you make it adequately fleshed out like the Cyclops like visor thing, I kind of get it. But you know, I do kind of hate when a thing goes like it feels like a child's, you know, make-believe game where it's like, oh yes, we got these gloves made out of this really specific element that actually doesn't react to your powers for some reason.
We could have gone the Mirio route. It's made out of his hair or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I wish they'd gone full Bayonetta with Mirio, you know?
Full Bayonetta?
Full Bayonetta, you know? Her clothes are made of her hair, but like literally.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that about Bayonetta.
Oh, yeah, you gotta play Bayonetta.
I don't know anything about Bayonetta.
Okay.
Do I have a console in which I can play Bayonetta?
I don't know. Maybe they'll put out a Switch 2 someday and you can buy that.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll buy a game console.
Hey.
It's not really in that season of life right now, but you know.
You're a grown adult. You got
I do got monies, but you know,
got
I'm
money, yeah.
Also, like, I want to save money.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
There's that.
You're very dad in that way.
I am very dad in that way. Every closer to being dad. Yeah, I don't see anything about. I don't know why I thought it was like he did all 5 fingers of contact. I know that's how Ochako's quirk works. She can't just tap. She's gotta all 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why gloves nullify it.
Stupid. Stupid is why.
Can't decay things if you can't see it.
Dumb.
So I don't know. I'll suspend my disbelief and say, yeah, sure, gloves smother it somehow.
No, stupid.
Sure. But yeah, we get that.
I'm here to be the hole poker, okay? You know.
Okay, yeah. Go on nitpicks.com or something, whatever that was called.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I mixed up. Girin is the arms dealer. Geeton is the Iceman we meet at the end of this episode, who's got the, Final Fantasy wizard design of just like a black face.
I like that, yeah.
I love designs like that. Design. The VV design, that's the top tier.
I just
best
noticed
designs.
That Dad has his eyes closed.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nice.
That's our dad. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a lot of pictures where I do that too, because I get all squinty when I smile too.
Fair enough.
He's got his Space Needle hat. He's been wearing in all these pictures.
Yeah. Nice.
It's a nice picture, Glacier Bay. Gonna dox our parents in the past.
Nice.
People will know where they've been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So Geeton, the Iceman. We got ice versus fire here.
Had we seen him before, Geeton?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is the first appearance of this guy.
He was talking all weird.
He's talking all weird.
Mm-hmm.
In what way?
I don't know. It just kind of sounded like he was like a faint ghost of a speaker.
Okay, yeah. I get what you mean then. Yeah. He's a little soft spoken.
A little softy.
But apparently he can not only create ice, he can manipulate the ice around him, so he can grab all that convenience store ice.
Yeah.
But I mean, Pokemon rules here. I mean, Dobby's got the upper hand here.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll evolve his powers to be able to control other forms of H2O.
I think he is supposed to be where he is, much like, say, Todoroki can create ice, but can also manipulate it. I think that's his leveled up form.
Yeah. I thought that, slight side tangent.
Uh-huh.
I thought Avatar's, blood bending was a better, more, natural level up sort of idea within the universe of the show.
Yes, I think that
because it was kind of taboo. It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it makes sense that we're full of water, and therefore waterbenders could potentially mess with human bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody had just previous to this been like, hey, let's chill out and not do that.
Yeah. I think Avatar was pretty good at coming up with kind of natural level ups to the things that people do.
Yeah.
I'm kind of cool with it here that it's not that natural. I just kind of like it. I don't know.
Well, I just think it's weird that it's shifted, right? Like before, the show was relying very heavily, in a cool way, on like, hey, our characters are constantly finding new ways to utilize powers. That's why I was a little surprised when Deku even got like a new quirk. Like they had spent 4 seasons almost just coming up with new ways for him to utilize the quirk he was already working with. And that was going well.
Yeah.
And so now, like 4 seasons in, to start introducing like, well, there's going to be new quirks. And because there's going to be new quirks, we need the old quirks people to have blatantly new things that they can do with their quirk, rather than sort of is it diegetic in this case? Like I know diegetic is like when the music is like playing in universe.
Yeah, it means it is an in-universe thing. I think that can apply to any thing.
Yeah. So maybe that's not the best use of the word, but some sort of like the show had for 4 seasons done a lot to sort of build itself on this idea that people were just kind of basically using innovation to become stronger. Like they might become stronger in a like push-up sense for some aspects, but like ultimately they were just getting better at using the raw materials they had to do stuff. And so it just feels kind of weird to jump into, oh, well, now they're just developing new techniques. Like just new things are happening kind of arbitrarily because we need them to.
Well, I mean, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, okay, so she's like with Toga, she's just becoming even better at imitating somebody.
Sure.
That is like the natural progression of getting good at imitating a person.
Right. So it seems to be leaping into a different category, though. Like it is still imitation. So it still falls within what the quirk is about. But it's not like I learned how to imitate better. It's like somehow I learned on a more cellular level or something. I don't even know. I don't know what's occurring here. Toga's is the most befuddling to me. I could even see where maybe Shigaraki's power could go out further or something.
Right, well, because like his power being decay rather than like dust or destruction or something, it's decay. That to me implies like a bacteria almost, like and like having it spread more. But in Toga's, perhaps it is kind of a down to a deeper cellular level. She's now able to copy the quirk factor of a person and not just their appearance, but like down to the bones, down to the cells,
Right, but that's still to me different than I've learned how to use the raw materials of what I've already been doing in a different and more innovative way.
Right. I still think it's a natural progression, though.
Yeah, I can see where it still falls within the same idea, but it's fundamentally different than what they've been doing for the past 4 to 5 seasons. Which is mostly people have been using the same quirks, just differently. They've learned different applications. rather than getting a new abilities altogether. It'd be like if Mineta, to use the worst example, suddenly realized that he could make his grapes explode.
I would say no. I still think this is more natural than that.
It's more natural, but it's akin to just developing an entirely new ability.
Still don't think it's a new ability, though. It's just a deeper ability.
So before she could copy people's quirks, just less?
Well, I mean, I'm saying that she could copy a person, but less, you know?
Right. She could take on the appearance of another person.
Yeah, but now she's even more that person.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's like you're going from in X-Men having like two distinct, like you have Mystique who can change her appearance, and you have Rogue who can take people's powers. And those are two distinct ways of copying people. And now you're saying that Toga has gained the second way of copying people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in a way, like I said, it's like a deeper copying.
Right. It's there's a certain progression to it, but overall, it to me has diverted from what they were originally doing.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Let me remember what the next episode is called. I don't know if we
what
have more to say on this one or not.
Yeah, I think we've probably exhausted it.
Yeah, for the most part. We barely talked about the Battle Liberation Army and themselves.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I
got Destro, we got Redestro. He's Destro's son. We don't know what his quirk is yet. But they're all out there doing their thing. Ah, yes, the next episode is called Sad Man's Parade.
Yeah, that one seems interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Who do you think the sad man is?
I thought it was pretty explicitly twice, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I forgot whether or not they yeah.
Yeah,
it's twice.
In the
yeah, because he's all because like Toga's out here on like the brink of death.
Yeah.
And Twice is all like, oh god, that's the only reason I'm part of the League of Villains. Come on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get some of that. Ooh, and we'll get nice. Getting some good episodes coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff. Yeah. I think we're in and this is why I get why they structured the season in this way, even though it does kind of drag to have the school class 1A versus B, and then the Endeavor Agency arc. Kind of understand breaking that up in the manga with this arc, but I also kind of understand from like a TV perspective, you kind of want the more interesting thing to happen at the end.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
It's a better build up.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Tough season to get through, but I think the payoff's worth it here.
Yeah, hopefully the next one is a little better. More streamlined.
I'm very excited for season 6, man. I've seen I still don't know what the OP and EDs are like. I've restrained from watching those, even though got a small urge within me that goes, man, I could just watch the rest of season 5 and then watch season 6.
Okay, yeah.
But I want to save it for the pod. I want to save it for the pod.
Okay, all right.
I want to show, so whenever back in the day, whenever an episode of something on like Cartoon Network would leak, I would always watch it.
Yeah.
and then watch it on TV later that night. But I'd still watch it because like when something's out there and I know it's out there, it's like I gotta see it. But it, like at least with this, I've already read the manga. But,
practicing restraint.
Yeah, I want to practice some amount of restraint. We'll have to do that if we figure out like a. I'm gonna try and track down like a nice like short series that neither of us have seen before or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because I've seen a few short things like Bakano and Fully Cooley. Those are two options for us of short things to watch. Bakano being like 13 episodes, Fully Cooley being only 6. I've seen both of those.
Yeah, I like short.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and find something short for us to watch that neither of us has seen before. And so I'll have to show some amount of restraint in not watching all of it at once. Because, when I really like something, I'll binge it, But I also do love the format of week to week, though. That's really fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Sadman's Parade. That's what's up next. Any closing thoughts?
No, I mean I'm excited to see what happens next.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am too.
More villain arc. Yeah.
More villain art. More villain academia.
So true.
Yeah, so true. They gave us a logo change. They made the title cards different.
Yep.
Yeah. That was nice. Oh, and we get them as the eye catch cards instead of our hero characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did a little bit with that, but I do get you on. It would have been neat to have like a new OP or ED. Go with an ED because the EDs can be cheap.
True.
Break out that walk cycle. Just draw Shigaraki over Deku's walk cycle and call that an ED.
Okay. That would be kind of lame.
All right. Well, I'll wrap up if you wanna.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to podcasts and such. Join us next time as we watch episodes 22 and 23. See you then.
Bye.